What does that even mean, Bowers Game Corner?
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another game review. And today I'm very excited to check out Zoo Ball from Osprey Games. This is for 2 or 4 players. Take it 10 to 25 minutes to play, and it's for ages 8+. And in Zoo Ball, the king of sports, you are going to be trying to flick your little orange animal into somebody else's goal, but all the while they're going to have 3 little white animals which are going to try and block you and stop you from getting into their goal. It is an incredibly light, simple flicking dexterity game, but is it good? Let's open it up and I'll tell you what I think. Alrighty then, we're going to take a look at what you're going to get inside of Zoo Ball, the king of sports. So first and foremost, we're going to handy dandy rule book. It's one large page like this, double-sided, full color, full of pictures, illustrations, examples. It's got these weird little comics in it, and you get the impression that those comics are just there to pad the rule booklet to actually be 2 pages, because to be brutally honest, I'm pretty sure you could get by with just 1 page of rules. That's how simple the game is. So in Zoo Ball, the king of sports, you are trying to score goals. You can go to any number of goals that you would like to go to. I personally recommend 3, but you can go to any number of goals. You're going to do that by flicking your little orange dude into somebody's circle over here if you're playing a 2-player version of the game. I'll tell you also how to play the 4-player version of the game in a second. But it's not going to be that easy because there will be these guys right here, which are the defenders. The guys with the white background are going to be the defenders, and they will have their defenders, you're going to set those up at the beginning of the game, trying to block their circle. They're obviously going to try and get their orange person into your circle over here. So what am I talking about? I'll show you exactly how to play. It's very simple. So you set it up. Whoever goes first sets up, and the second person sets up, and then you take your turn. And on your turn, you have 2 choices that you can do. The first choice is that you can flick your orange person like that. So, pretty self-explanatory. The second option that you have to do on your turn when it gets back to you is either to flick your orange person, as I did earlier, or you can flick all 3 of your white people, which are your defenders. So let's say that this guy does, this right there. And I'm like, oh my goodness, he is almost inside of the circle. Because how the rule works is you have to be completely inside of this outside circle. So now, obviously, I want to move my defenders, which is now where I can take advantage of one of the cool rules of the game, which is that if you knock someone out of bounds on the opposite side of their board, they pop all the way back over there. So, for instance, if I went out of bounds right here on this side, then I would just go right back here in a 2-player game. However, if I were to say well, that was a bad example. If I were to say do this, this person now would go out of bounds, and they would start all the way back up there. So you have to use that to your strategic advantage. But anywho, what's going to happen is eventually someone is going to get inside of this circle right here. So let's just say they did that. They're going to gain a point, and then you're going to reset up the board. And you're going to continue to do that until however many points you want to do it to. Now, in the 4-player version of the game, you're going to ignore the circles over here and over there, and you're going to be focusing on these triangles. And these triangles are going to be your goal. So likewise, you're going to start right over there, then you're going to set up your defense, and you're going to be trying to get into your opposing players, aka the blue one over here, triangle. And if you get completely into their triangle, then you will score a goal. Likewise, though, the white player and the black player are going to try and do the same thing, but going that way. When someone scores a point, you will completely reset everything, and you're going to go to however many points you want to go to, probably 2 points generally in that sort of game, 2 or 3. But that in a nutshell is what you're going to get inside of Zoo Ball, the king of sports. Alrighty then, Zoo Ball from Osprey Games. What are my final thoughts? Let's go over the pros, let's go over the cons. First, on the con side, game's not going to be for everybody for a variety of different reasons. First and foremost, it's 2 or 4 players, so it's very restricted player counts, and I liked it best at 2 players. 4 players just ended way too abruptly because, you had 2 other people who were doing whatever they wanted, and you pretty much were just focused on getting from point A to point B, where if someone else was trying to get from point C to point D, it just ended abruptly, and then you have to reset after each time you score, and I did not like it that much at 4 players. It just, I don't know, I wasn't the biggest fan of it. Now, 2 players, I did like, and I will recommend, and I'll tell you why a little bit later, but there's a lot of caveats before we get to that recommendation. So first and foremost, there's just not much meat on the bone in this game at all. Like, you open the box and you're like, this is what I get? This is it? This playmat and these little things and some stickers and some leftover stickers, that's all there is in the game? And it just, I can't believe there's not more variants or more things you can set up or more stuff you can do or more stuff in the box that say, hey, once you've played a couple games, add this into the equation or try playing this way or anything. It just feels so incredibly bare bones, and that's unfortunate because I like the bare bones, but I want more. I played the first time and I was like, oh yeah, this is good. I enjoy this. This is fun, but I want more. I immediately want more right now. And a lot of the times with games, I'll be like, this is a great game and I want an expansion because of how much I like this game. And I say that, but then I say, but take that with a grain of salt because there's still plenty of meat in this game. This game, I want an expansion for the game immediately because there's not enough meat on the bones, which is a huge con to have. Now, continuing onward, the playmat is not the nicest, and it says you can't iron it, so if they get creases in it, it just kind of stays there. They tell you to like fold it backwards. So I worry that the more you play with this, or if you forget to fold it in just the right way, it's going to start looking worse and worse and worse and continue to only look slightly worse. It's not a big deal, but you will have like little divots in the field, which will drastically impact the game. If you flick too hard, and you're flicking a defender or something like that, then it's just going to open up a clear shot for the offense to get in. There's a lot of faults with this game. Any other cons I have of the game? I mean, you got to go into it knowing it's 2 players or 4 players, and it's best at 2 players, and it's incredibly light, it's incredibly simple, it's begging for house rules, it's begging for modifications or obstacles or anything else to be added to the game. But moving on to the pros, Zoo Ball is still fun. I mean, that's the bottom line here. This is an enjoyable game. I played it with the kids in my class, and they liked it. Now, that being said, they've liked other dexterity games better than this game. But part of the simplicity and beauty of this game is the simplicity of this game. It's incredibly simple. It's just here on your turn, you're either going to flick your orange disc or you're going to flick your 3 white discs. Your 3 white discs act as defenders, and your orange disc, wow, I can't say colors, is trying to score. And I like the simplicity of that game. I like how easy it is to learn and to teach this game, and people will have some fun with this game. But that being said, there are better other dexterity games out there, so this is a hard recommendation. But in the end, I like the theme. I had fun with the game at 2 players, and I didn't, 4 players, you could modify the rules to make it more fun, but with the current rule set, I just didn't enjoy it at 4 players. So Zoo Ball, the King of Sports, is a very hard recommendation for me. I had fun with it, and I will keep it for the time being because I think it's a fun one to play with my class. I think it's a fun one to play with my kids. But that being said, there are better dexterity games out there, so this one, I'm probably going to have to tell you, you're going to want to take a pass on it. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to click on that subscribe button down below in the comments below. Let me know if you could go to the zoo and steal one animal, what animal would you steal? For me personally, it'd be a penguin. I would love to have a penguin. They're my favorite animals. I don't know logistically how I would do it. We'd probably have to get like an extra fridge or freezer where they could live in it or something like that. But I'd like to have a penguin. What animal would you like to have? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.